But hi everyone, thank you so much for having me and thank you for your patience. So my name is Erin, as you probably know by now, and I'm from Factory Farming Awareness Coalition. We are a nonprofit dedicated to educating others on the impacts of industrialized animal agriculture. So as you probably know, factory farming. So I just want to ask anyone here, has anyone ever been to a factory farm? Show of hands, has anyone been to a factory farm? Oh, you have? Okay, do you mind sharing your experience there? Pig farm? Yeah, how was it? What did you see? What did you smell? Pigs couldn't move, yeah. 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 It smelled really bad? Yeah, so that's very typical in factory farms. And so what we do at our org is to empower people to end factory farming. Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. So we have 2 programs at our organization. Our first one is our classroom programming project. That is where we visit high schools and universities and give lessons to students about factory farming. So we talk about the impacts factory farming has on the animals, on the environment, as well as the humans. So contrary to popular belief, there are actual human beings working in our slaughterhouses. Many students are unaware of that, so we talk a lot about the link between our social justice issues in the US as well as our factory farms and our food system. So that's our first program. Our second program is our Advocacy Institute, and this is what I'm going to be mainly focusing on in today's just quick work. Better now? Okay, so sorry about that. So our Advocacy Institute program is a one-of-a-kind internship experience for high school and college students alike. So if anything I talked about in the lesson when I was giving classroom programming lessons at schools, the students were really keen on it or had a really big interest in our food system, they can sign up for our Advocacy Institute, and that's an internship experience they get to take part in and solve and learn more about the issues of factory farming. So I'll be talking a little bit about our Advocacy Institute today. Next, please. Okay, so our Advocacy Institute, as I said, it's a one-of-a-kind internship experience targeted at both high school and college students. The goals of our Advocacy Institute include students will be able to gain skills, knowledge, and lifelong support to support the movement and end factory farming. The only difference between our high school and college program is the length of the program. So our high school program is a 3-month commitment, 13 hours per week for 7 months. And then our college program has, I can't see that well, but we both have a spring term and a summer term. So the spring term starts from January to May, and then our summer term goes from June to August. So that's the only difference in our high school and college, just the timeline. Next, please. So just to talk more about what we're doing in this actual internship program. So it is split up into 3 focus areas. The first one is our discussion and workshop area, where the students get to learn and dive into educational materials about factory farms, including learning about lobbying, learning about food racism and justice, environmental impact of factory farms. We also have workshops dedicated to public health, as well as legislation work, and even talk about animal ethics. So it's a very well-rounded discussion, holistic approach to learning more about factory farming. After the discussion workshops, we also have elective hours, and that's where we focus on either educational, social, or skill-building hours. The students can choose whichever one they want to do. The educational component really targets how you can utilize this discussion and all these impacts you've learned about factory farming and really put it into use, whether or not that be through grad programs or through a career. And then we also have social and skill building elective hours, which I will talk about in a little bit as well. And then our advocacy project is our main focus in our Advocacy Institute. So these students, they have a hands-on approach and hands-on project dedicated in this internship. They can complete either giving lessons like an FFAC educator. They can also work with other organizations such as the Humane League. We've partnered with them. We've also partnered with Better Food Foundation, so other organizations in this similar space to create initiatives and legislation in terms of animal welfare. We also encourage students to go tabling, to leaflet, and also write campaign work in the advocacy project. So that is area where the students can choose what they want to do with the information they've learned through the discussion and workshop hours. Yeah. Okay, so just a brief overview of what our Advocacy Institute targeted and looked like in the summer of 2022. So this past summer, we had 23 workshops, 38 discussion hours, 40 elective hours, 133 mentor meetings, and over 1,000 practical hours. So the practical hours are, like what I said, the advocacy projects where the students get to have a hands-on approach to implementing what they learned about factory farming. And how many students did we reach? So, in the end, next please. Yes. In the end, we reached a total of 62 students last year, and they represented 17 states, including Canada. So our reach is not only in the US, but also all around internationally. Out of these 62 students, 15 were from high school, 36 were from college, and we also had 7 fellows that really worked with us on a more intense program dedicated to them. Next. Okay, so these are just some of the curriculum topics we've talked about. So this is going to be shown up in our discussion, our workshop hours. Like I said, it's a very well-rounded and holistic approach. So we don't only focus on the environmental impact that factory farms bring, but we also focus on the social justice issues, the political issues, and even public health issues. Okay, so what did these students do in the internship besides reading articles and learning more about factory farming? 33 of these students worked on institutional campaigns, including 22 of them working with corporate campaigns with our partner organization, the Humane League, which is a great program. I see you here, yes, perfect. And then 16 students also continued or started campaigns on their school campus with the Better Food Foundation, pushing more plant-based meals in the cafeteria, working with nutrition or starting nutrition guidelines about eating more plant-based meals as well. So that has been really great. These are just more of a breakdown of what the students did. So some of them worked on legislative and political actions on campaigns. Others worked on delivering lessons, which I do full-time. So I give lessons to students, and some of the interns did that as well. 12 of them wrote social media articles, marketing materials. We also have that component in our internship if you're interested. And then 4 of them also did social media. So it's very well-rounded, not only marketing, not only legislative, but yeah, basically anything the students want to do, we encourage and we support. Yeah. Okay, great. So this is just like an example of a small cohort. During their discussion groups, they're usually paired in a cohort of 10 or so students. This is just an example of a high school cohort. So our program is hybrid. Half of it is virtual and half of it is in person. The half of it on Zoom is dedicated to the workshops and discussion hours that I just mentioned. The other part of it is the in-person hands-on project. So the advocacy part of our Advocacy Institute, that is when the students get to put their work and do a hands-on project specifically. So this is just the Zoom side of things. We can keep going. Yeah, some more cohorts. Kylie's cohort. This is college students. Next, please. This is college again as well. Okay, so this is our in-person / hybrid event. So there's a great sanctuary in the Bay Area called Charlie's Acre Sanctuary. We take trips there sometimes in our internship, and these are just some of the students that visited the sanctuary. And this is a great farmed animal sanctuary that we love supporting at FFAC. Yeah, some more pictures with the animals.
Where is it?
It's in the Bay Area. I don't know the specific address. I actually just moved here. It's in Simona? Okay, thank you. Yes. Yeah, some great. Perfect. Next, please. Okay, so other than the discussion workshop hours, we also have mentor meetings, and this is a chance for the students to connect with their cohort mentors. So we do like plant-based recipe cooking. We can do next slide as well. Yeah, so these are just some of the recipes that students implemented and worked with their cohort leaders. Next. They also made mug cakes. So these are all plant-based recipes. Yeah, Okay, and then in here we can see, again, the hands-on approach that the students sometimes took part in. So this is a great campaign that they worked with the Humane League on the institutional campaign for cage-free eggs. Next. This is leafletting and tabling for THL as well. Oh, good. Okay, you're good. No, you're good. Next, please. Oh, no signal? Okay, yes. And then here we can see we also work with Mercy for Animals, another great animal welfare organization. Students work with them and help them lobby. This is another great organization we work with in terms of policy and legislative implementation. Other than on the policy side, we also do and support social media and marketing work. So all of these students can write articles for our website and publish them on our website as well, which is great. Yeah. Okay, and this is giving FFAC lectures. So a part of the classroom programming, the main focus is to give lectures to students or lessons about factory farming. So this is a great example of a student giving these lessons to other students and even their family members. This is an example of a workshop that we did on Zoom in terms of climate policy. Next. And then at the end of the term, whether that's spring or summer term, we also have an end of the year celebration. And that's when the students get to showcase all their work and what they did throughout the internship and share what they have learned. So this is just some examples of key takeaways students have shared with us. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so that's about a brief overview of our Advocacy Institute, and I really thank you for supporting our organization as well as these farmed animals. I can take any questions, so yeah, I think that's all. Thank you. Yes?
For the students who are working on their
Yeah.
you also work with groups like Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, because they have a whole program with dietitians aimed at schools. And access to plant-based.
Yeah. I'm sure if the students are open to working with them, we'd be more than happy to forge a collaboration. Like I said, we've worked with other organizations in the space, so that's definitely an open opportunity for us to collaborate. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so we don't focus much on lobbying at our organization, but the students can work with other animal welfare orgs to work on projects helping them do lobbying as well. We mainly focus on the educational side of things at FFAC. So we do have a policy and legislative individual that is working on legislation, but that is definitely not our main focus at FFAC. Yeah. Yes?
I wanted to know about the human side of factory farming.
Yeah.
Are there a certain percentage of people that are coming from prisons to
Yes.
work in the factories? Or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So the main people who are working in factory farms are these marginalized individuals, right? So people with criminal backgrounds, it's very common for them to work in factory farms, low income, and immigrants. So those are the three main demographics working in factory farms. I don't know the specifics percentage-wise, but I do know those are the three main demographics that we usually tell students and also tell others about, because they're mainly marginalized individuals. They don't have any other option to work for another job, so it's really easy for them to find a job in slaughterhouses. But also it leads to a lot of issues, right? Because it's easy for them to be taken advantage of, and yeah. We can talk more about how it's super harmful working in slaughterhouses because of all the heavy machinery and the diseases and everything. But yes, those are the main demographics and individuals. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. Any other questions?
how many schools do you go to?
In total, or
Like in this area?
in the Bay Area specifically? So we've targeted more than 100 schools already. Yeah, we've reached more than 10,000 students.
And how many people like you?
Just me. Just me. Just me in the Bay Area, correct, yes. Just me. Shanghai. Yeah, I moved here in June, so it's very, very recent.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I'll be here around if you want to chat or anything. Thank you for attending.